Hello, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about Renaissance, Reformation, Scientific Revolution, and entering into the age of geographical discoveries. Okay, in the last class, we had discussed about the state of Europe after the fall of a Roman Empire. Okay, what did we see? That initially Roman Empire had trade and commerce with India and other parts of the world. So when there is good trade and commerce, there is automatically a flourishing economy, okay, and automatically it leads to urbanization, okay. With decline in the trade and commerce, automatically there will be decline in the economy and ruralization of economy. Okay, one more characteristic feature which we saw in yesterday's class was feudalism. Okay, in feudalism we discussed that its main characteristics are dependent on the ownership of land. Okay, now it's a rural economy after the fall of Roman Empire. So agriculture becomes the main agency. Okay, and along with agriculture, the lands are divided into small pockets, and these lands are taken care of by the vassals. Okay, these vassals, they had a greater power to tax their own land, to keep the army, to mint their own coins. Okay, now this all led to a decentralized economy and empire in small pockets in Europe. Okay, now also we saw that the social organization or the hierarchy had become very rigid. Majorly it was divided into three parts. The first one were your clergy, okay, and the pope. The second one, the first one had the power to levy the tax, okay. The second one were your nobles and knights, okay. These were the main feudal lords. The third one were your peasants, okay, and the serfs who were at the mercy of above two strata. Now understand that eventually, in the long run, all this led to the crisis of 14th and 15th century. Why? Because there was famine, okay, there was starvation. What happened? Automatically the number of supply of the serfs had decreased, and then who will be working in the lands, right? So what happens because of this demand supply gap? Again, the crises are coming up. Now, apart from this, we also saw that during the dark ages, okay, the state and the religion, they completely overlapped. Whatever the religion or the church dictated, it was taken as the moral agency by the kings, okay, or the feudal lords. Now, with this, we see that there is entering into the era of cathedral towns, where small towns are developed nearby church, okay, and in these towns small artisans, the fourth order social order or the townspeople, they start coming up, right? Blacksmith, bakerymen, flowermen, carpenters, right? These are not in other three social orders. Now, eventually what happens that ultimately these cathedral towns, they become the center of learning and education. And slowly, people start reading the earlier Roman, Latin and Greek scriptures, okay? Now, these youths who are reading these scriptures, they are having the development of critical mindset. Now, they will be questioning the authority of the church. Okay, so what happens? Let's see from here. The last time we discussed, because of all these crises and after dark ages, king again he tries to develop his own supremacy, right? Eventually we saw that monarchical form of government was coming into formation. Okay, because of these small towns, what happened from 14th to 17th century in Europe, there was a profound transformation, and this transformation is known as Renaissance. Understand, the meaning of Renaissance is rebirth. Okay, what happens here, that a normal human, he questions his existence before the essence of God. You will see a lot of existential philosophers during this time which keep this question that existence precedes the essence. Okay, understand that by this time the people are so fed up, right? They want a very mundane approach, a very secular approach. They want to come to these terms that we do not want to talk what is life after death, what is coming after death, but we want to see what is in this worldliness. So Renaissance was based on humanism, it was based on the conception of secularism, and above all human dignity. Okay, so let's resume the class. So the period, it saw the Renaissance, which is rebirth, and this Renaissance will be seen in art, literature, sculpture, architecture, science. Okay, along with this, it was followed by Reformation. The division of the church started into two parts. Okay, one who followed the authority of Pope, those were known as Catholics, and one who did not follow the authority of the Pope, right? Like Martin Luther, they were known as Protestants. Okay, and along with this, there were various scientific revolutions. Okay, and in the scientific revolutions, we see that it was Francis Bacon, right, who said that knowledge is power. And also, we see it was Isaac Newton, right, who gave his theory of gravitation. Also, we will see that it will be Copernicus who says that the sun is at the center and the earth revolves around the sun. Now, this is heliocentric theory. Okay, so understand, all this finally led to the Enlightenment age, or you can say that this is an age of human discovery. Okay, now together all these created the foundation of modern Europe, shaping the art. I've just discussed science, politics, and religion. In art, humanistic art was depicted, art which depicted more of equality. The scenes were that. Science, realistic, realism was there in science. Politics, more emphasis was given on democratic form of government, okay, where even the peasants and the people have a say. And religion, the state was separated completely from the religion. Okay, now understand, let's see one by one. Renaissance literally means rebirth or the mundane approach. Okay, and this mundane means secular. Okay, or you can also say it's a day-to-day approach. It is about this worldliness, right? The peasants, they will be discussing about their sufferings, not about the existence of God. In fact, what is here, that has to be considered first. Okay, it began in Italy. In the prior class, we had seen that after the fall of Roman Empire, the people fled to Italy, Spain, right? These places become the center of cultural renaissance. Okay, there was a cultural movement where they were discussing to revive the classical heritage of uh, Greek and Rome, which has been neglected during the medieval dark ages. Okay, and Renaissance had stressed on humanism, right? It has stressed on the concept of secularism and individualism. Okay, here I will take a few minutes break to discuss the concept of secularism with you.